What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. That's the one, the only. It's Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's happening today, buddy? Happy Monday.
Well, I think about 6 million of us had a little issue over the weekend where we lost internet, and boy, would that have been rough if it were not for Link's Awakening. I finally got to it, and oh, I love that game.
Awesome. It's dude. So if those who aren't kind of caught up with what's going on, 30% of Canadians were without internet, which was basically the entire crew from ITG, which then delayed episode 175 for Inside the Game. So if you're looking for that, it's coming next week by the time we are able to actually get on there, record everything, and finally wrap up what we were working on and get that taken care of.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit of a delay, but we're going to get back onto it soon here. We were, unfortunately, there's just nothing we could do with no internet. That was just, it's from what we hear, Rogers was hacked, dude, is what kind of went down.
I'm caught between was it foreign interference or did somebody hit the blackout button by accident? You know?
Wrong button, shut down.
It remains to be seen. I don't know if we'll ever see what the answer was, but there was nothing you could do. Even yelling at the clouds didn't help. I tried.
It was one of those things. I turned on my Xbox, it was so spotty, couldn't connect. I turned on my PlayStation, I couldn't even connect with half my PlayStation games. I was just like, man, I jumped in Horizon Forbidden West. I'm like, yep, all right, at least I can play this. And then I got pulled away to do something else. I don't know what happened, but it was just
I made it.
So funny.
I made it work. My Xbox actually, without DRM issues, would start Elden Ring. So I had Elden Ring to play. We had the orange box downstairs, and then Zelda. So I'll be all right. It turns out I have a backup plan.
Oh, there we go. Well, we do have good news because we are back and people can be joining us live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, today is the day. Rockstar no longer leaves Red Dead Online fans in questioning about the future of the game, because there isn't one. Fable reboot gets a new narrative lead, and The Last of Us Part 1 remake is not a cash grab. We got quite the show, buddy. I'm dying to talk about some games. Let's get going, because we're going to kick things off with some unfortunate news. Grand Theft Auto 6 update provided by Rockstar Games. Some Cade over at comicbook.com. Rockstar Games has once again uttered the words, quote, next Grand Theft Auto, end quote, in a statement. Although it's no secret that Rockstar is knee-deep in the fabled and tentative titled Grand Theft Auto 6, the developer operates in the shadows and has created a vial of mystery, causing all kinds of speculations about its next game. Dude, this is how you build the hype. Rockstar does it right, I'll tell you that. But I want to get further down. I'm going to skip all that, because in a new update regarding GTA Online and Red Dead Online, Rockstar Games talked about why it won't be creating any new major content updates for the online Western game. Scott, I feel like
this comes after like a year of no response at all and no content at all. Yeah.
It's so sad. The answer is as simple as Rockstar knows it needs to focus more on Grand Theft Auto 6. The developer confirmed it has been working on the new Grand Theft Auto for at least the last few years and began shifting development resources over to the project as it ramped up more. Rockstar stated that it's aware of the expectations of the game and is doing what it can to exceed them. Quote, over the past few years, we've had steadily moving more development resources towards the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, understanding more than ever that the need to exceed players' expectations and for the next entry to be the best it can be possibly, said Rockstar Games. Scott, Red Dead Online, completely over. Dude, there is no reason for me to install that game, play that game, jump back into that world. Nothing. Unfortunately, I love that game. We all played the living crap out of this game. I was in there, Kyle was in there, Nate's in there, Ben. Dude, we had a whole posse rolling night after night after night, and I had a blast thinking this could be anything like GTA Online. We are going to be here for another decade playing in this Western setting, having such a blast, and looking towards the future of when is this going to get the heists that we kind of expected to jump in to Red Dead Online and dude, the
It
Rockstar just shut
never.
it down.
No. The time for the heist and stuff would have been within the first year
Yep.
or even the second year. I can't remember now how long ago that
Just
game
can't
came out,
get
but it was
over it.
just the support just dropped away. But is this does this really mean that Grand Theft Auto 6 is being worked on? I'm so skeptical that are we gonna get 5.5?
No, I think we're in for a brand new iteration for a Grand Theft Auto game. It has been over a decade with GTA 5. We're long overdue for something new. Everybody is hungry for a new Grand Theft Auto game. Dude, we jumped into Grand Theft Auto 5 remaster because we're hungry to play more. Like, you know what I mean? So it's been so long. We want something fresh and exciting. But I thought Red Dead would have been that opportunity for us to kind of carry that over until the next GTA game comes along. Instead, they're like, nope. We're just going to drop online and Red Dead and forget both platforms now and just jump into GTA 6. And I understand the transition, but you think you would have had a small team put aside? Rockstar is not a small studio by any means, right? They have multiple studio locations. You think you could dedicate a bit of a team towards working on some kind of content to keep the community going, keep the community alive with Red Dead Online, and they just shut it all down. I can't get over it. Just drives me nuts.
No, it's because it just doesn't draw the same amount of money. That kind of is what it has to come down to.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it just is nonsensical. But if it makes the money, it gets the attention.
Well, which is unfortunate, Scott. That's the problem, right? Is that we've seen we've seen it shut down now for a while. That's like over a year of no content. But that's because GTA, but yet they still keep pumping out more content for GTA Online. It's because that's where all the money's coming from, right? That's the biggest thing. More money, more money, more money. And I get it. So for me, that's understandable, but it's also very frustrating.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. These two stories here. The Last of Us Part 1 is just like Grand Theft Auto 5 again. Totally not again.
Yeah. Dude, my internet just started chugging.
Grab. It's the excellent service that we're used to on the internet in our area.
What is happening here?
Oh, I've gotten little bursts of audio there. Yeah, you are back.
Okay. We had a bit of a stutter going on. I'm not sure what happened there. Whew. My goodness.
It looks like we almost lost you for about 10 seconds.
All right, I'm glad
you're good.
I'm glad I'm back. Dude, let's move into what's up with Fable, because I'm curious to see where your opinions are with Fable now the reboot gets a new narrative lead. This one's a kind of, it questions how long we will take to see the light of day for this game. This comes from Jody over at PC Gamer. The Fable reboot being developed by Playground Games, which was officially revealed at the Xbox Games Showcase in 2020, has a new narrative lead. Anna McGill opens up, who was formerly the lead and has been promoted into the new role. Dude, she was already formerly the lead writer once, and now she's been promoted to the narrative lead. McGill's previous video game work includes the upcoming Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which is cool, as well as Control, on which she was also a narrative lead over there. Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. Dude, she's got a list of banger games, some fantastic stuff. But according to a report by Eurogamer, in 2018, the new Fable was planned as a story and character focused open world action RPG. The official website states, and dude, we've gone on from there, but explore a new land of fantastical creatures and wondrous places. Developer Playground Games is the studio behind the Forza Horizon series, and the new Fable is being made by the Forza Tech engine. Here's the other thing I kind of caught. You ready for this?
What's that?
Beyond that, we still know very little about it, though head of Xbox Phil Spencer suggests Playground would keep it feeling lighthearted and British. But he also stated before that it will be out before Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh, well, I don't know if that puts much of a timeline on there.
That's where my biggest question goes. Whoa, Elder Scrolls 6 is coming in like the next 10 years. So when is
Yeah,
Fable coming?
don't expect that anytime soon. We may see another Skyrim remaster before that comes out. But oh man, the Fable is that does sound like quite a rocky situation though. They're still
Doesn't it?
shuffling staff around and haven't really we haven't seen anything about it since was it 2020?
Yeah, yeah, dude. You and I watched that live trailer together, and then that's all we've seen on it. Like nothing else at all. We've heard rumblings that they're in trouble. That with a little bit of unfamiliar territory, Scott, is what I'll call it. When you are making a driving game, and then all of a sudden go into this RPG scenario with a third-person perspective.
I keep thinking of Cars. You know those movies?
Yeah, dude, the Disney movies. Lightning McQueen shows up.
They're cars. Yeah,
it has wings on it. Like
that's not the Fable I want to see, but it would be a fun little romp, wouldn't it?
Oh man, there's definitely a lot of questions behind what's going on in the world of Fable right now. And are you concerned for the future of this game, like the future of the franchise? Will this come out, dude? The cinematic is one thing, because that's all we see is a cinematic. That's all we've been given, right? So yeah, it's exciting to see that little snippet, but we don't know what the gameplay looks like. We don't know who we are. We don't know any details about the story. Where are they at right now forming the story? Are they done? Often what they'll do is they'll get the main story contents kind of finished and wrapped up, and then they'll bring in other narrative people to help out with like side quests and things like that, right? And then kind of build out the rest of the game. Dude, I feel like we're still 5 years away.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's been much progress at all, other than setting it up and the company is kind of arranging everything. But we haven't seen anything at all, and I'm not expecting it soon. It's hard to get super hyped about something when you just I'm left to kind of I'm left to kind of imagine it with my memories of Fable 1, 2, and 3, which are all great.
Yeah. It's it's exciting to see because she has a fantastic track record. We obviously don't know anything about Avatar yet, Frontiers of Pandora, but dude, Dishonored is a fantastic game. She worked on Guild Wars, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Murdered Soul Suspect, and the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much narrative direction was in that one, but
yeah, but she's got some other great games that are in there, right?
And, anybody that can craft the narrative behind Control, gets a big plus from me. That's an amazing game, and storylines and everything is just so deep. So I'm excited that there's good talent on this project.
Well, there's got to be high hopes then, right, for the story to actually be so impactful in ways that we haven't seen from Fable in so long. I want to see the twists and turns and the kind of the backstabs and the big surprises that we always kind of want and hear, and the hopes of when it comes to a Fable game.
I'm wondering if you're going to be the main character or if it's going to be your sister again.
What do you want from the next Fable, Scott? Do you want somebody that you are the character, or you want them to have a character that has an impact and can kind of guide you through the story?
I kind of want a well-established character already.
Yeah.
As much as I like the ability of the idea of kind of putting yourself in those shoes, I feel like I've done that for time and time and time again. So I really like a strong story that knows, who the characters are.
Absolutely. I think I'm in the same boat. I want somebody that has a meaningful character that's going to make me feel and get pulled on the heartstrings and stuff. There's so many games we play now that we are the world, we are the character, and we are there to kind of craft our own story. I don't want to craft my own story here. I want to have this story told to me in a sense that is going to pull me in different directions, with choices have impacts and things like that. There's going to be meaningful and things. High hopes, but at this point, I'm not hoping to see it anytime soon.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a while.
Absolutely. What's not quite a while though, Scott, is The Last of Us Part 1 remake is not a cash grab, says the developer. The highest level of care and attention to detail possible. This goes to Vicky over at Eurogamer. The developer, who worked on Naughty Dog's upcoming PS5 remake of The Last of Us Part 1, has hit back at a claim it's, quote, just a cash grab, end quote. I saw this take on Twitter, dude, and people are like all over him.
Oh yeah, it really blew up. I saw some of the big names talking about it, and I went,
yeah, no, Robert Morrison Yeah, we'll get into discussion in a second. Robert Morrison, whose credits also include Resident Evil 7 and Injustice 2, and so Santa Monica Studios' 2018 God of War reboot, counters such claims by insisting it is the most built and well-crafted project that's had the title's highest level of care and attention to detail possible. Animator Morrison, who worked on The Last of Us Part 1 and now works at a fellow Sony studio, Bend, said, quote, actually, it's the most meticulously built and crafted project that I have ever seen or been a part of in my entire career. Scott, that's a pretty bold statement, man.
Yeah, that certainly is. Well, this is The Last of Us Part 1. It has already had a remake, is that correct? Or a
Yes,
remaster?
that's the problem, right?
This is the
We're getting
second form of it.
we're getting
Again,
a remaster of a remaster.
these are getting hard to follow now. They're getting confusing.
It's the biggest thing is so people were up in arms about it's a remaster of a remaster, and Naughty Dog comes out to say it's the remaster that we wanted to make in the first place with the tools we now have of today's technology, right? When you get involved with like engines like Unreal Engine 5, where everything's getting stepped up to such a high degree of fidelity, of graphic rendering, and so many other details that they couldn't have possibly put into the PS3 remake, right? That's the thing. They brought it over to PS4. Yeah, there's a big jump, but now we're seeing even a higher jump in all that tech moving forward. So this is kind of the remake of all remakes, I guess, if you're a Naughty Dog fan. And if you don't want it, dude, don't play it. That's the other side of it, right?
Yeah. It's it'd be far more easy to get excited about a new Last of Us entirely. But this is exciting for some people. If you have a new console, you're going to want that version of it. The more I'm thinking about this situation, the more I'm wondering, are we ever going to get a remaster of some of the games that, I hold dear? Would I ever get a Halo 1 remaster V2?
I hear you, yeah.
Halo 2 remaster. There's a lot of games that I wish had this kind of attention put to it, but then again, I do understand the frustration though, and I want to blame Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto 5 for this kind of reaction that people have towards it. But the reality is, it will sell.
It will sell, right? And a lot of people won't buy it. I've already played it, so I even know the outcome of the story. But at the same time, I want to know what they've really kind of done to enhance the next iteration of this remaster. Why is it so important? Why will it be the next remaster of what it should have been, right? Kind of thing. Dude, that kind of makes you wonder then, should they have just waited from the original remaster? And then if they wouldn't have done the remaster already and then announced this, I think it would be in a different light. They're also talking about it's a full price game. It's not just like here's a $50 or $40 experience. It's a full $80 purchase coming out of your bank account for it. And a lot of other fans are kind of up in arms going, well, where's factions for Last of Us Part 2? Instead, we're getting a game we've already played. So would you rather have seen them transition, everybody just go do the Rockstar method and go, okay, you know what, we're shutting these down, we're just going to jump all in the next gen kind of thing? Is that what they should have done? Or you think bring the remaster is a good idea?
I think that's what they should do from now on, for after this. Have a transparent kind of reaction to it, because there's a lot of fans that are upset. And are you ever going to get that multiplayer for Part 2? I almost think they're going to skip it at this point.
No, okay. Oh man, don't do that to me. Why you gotta do that? I want this so bad. It's not even funny. I gotta see where the multiplayer is at, and I'm more excited to learn more about the multiplayer than I am for the remaster. I think the remaster is gonna be fantastic. I will probably jump in and give it a go and play one more time, but I don't typically go back to play games I've already beaten, and that's kind of where this falls. Even though they are enhancing it and bringing it to that next stage, it just isn't enough for me to drive through the whole story. Or will I play like the first level or two and go, okay, cool, I see what they've done, that's good enough for me?
Yeah, no, I might not have the same kind of staying power for you. Did you play the remake? Or
No.
Sorry, the remaster already? The first one? No?
So it's been forever.
Consider it for people like myself. I don't have a PlayStation 4.
Sure.
I do want a PlayStation 5. As soon as it becomes something you don't have to initiate Mortal Kombat for, I will have a PlayStation 5. And when I do, there's several games I'm going to pick up. The Last of Us is very high up on that list.
Oh, and it should be, right? It's got one of the best engaging stories that I've ever played. The world is so incredible. The dire need for survival is just, dude, it's amazing. And then you get into 2. Whew. Oh, dude, I can't wait for you to get a PS5. I cannot wait.
I wish they were a little bit more horror based, but if that were the case, then I wouldn't be able to speak with you about it.
No,
it just wouldn't be the same.
Certainly wouldn't. Oh, Scott, I think we're going down and out again. Here we go. Okay, right. I think we're
very short stutter there. I think.
All right. Here we go. Let's get into Skull and Bones. Map size makes Assassin's Creed Valhalla look small. What?
Holy, what is that even?
No, this comes from Joshua over at Game Rant. This is not what I wanted to hear, but part of me kind of likes it. Ubisoft has finally re-revealed Skull and Bones during a recent showcase, showing the grittier take on the pirate world. It's inspired by the golden age of piracy, even though it doesn't take directly from it, and pits players into a realistic world. I think that's what I'm mostly excited for, is that we're going to get in co-op with a realistic take on a pirate experience. Players will eventually be able to craft 12 unique ships at launch, potentially amassing a fleet of 40 ships for backup.
Holy.
That is huge. Combined with multiplayer elements, pirate dens, and other noteworthy locations, it sounds like Skull and Bones would be a huge game. Gamer inquired about this, asking how it compared in size to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, from which the initial idea of Skull and Bones sprang. Size-wise, Bernard would instead compare it to Valhalla. As many know, it's the latest game in the Assassin's Creed franchise and one of the biggest. The size of Skull and Bones completely eclipses it. In Bernard's own words, quote, Valhalla, a great big open world Assassin's game, is 95 square kilometers of gameplay space. At launch, we are 625 square kilometers.
That is insanely large.
Oh, Scott.
I was trying to find a reference for how big Valhalla map is, and it's strange when you Google it, it comes up with a lot of different maps. And I'm not familiar enough with this specific game to know, but I know it was absolutely massive.
It's huge, dude. It's huge to the point where I'm still working on the game, and I'm 140, 150 hours in, I think, at this point. And there's parts of it that I still haven't experienced, right? So this is where they're starting with, is 625 square kilometers, right? This means Skull and Bones is about 241 miles of in-game play space, while Assassin's Creed was about 36 square miles. Dude, that's just, it's insanely huge. I'm a little concerned that, is it too big? Like, is that something that developers are worried about anymore at this point? Or is this, will it lock off regions, so when they finally drop the expansion, that region's there and they just open it up and away you go?
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, this could be. How many people are we really squeezing into a server? And that's kind of what I wonder. And is it going to be enough? Is it going to be a big, empty, open ocean though? Because that's the danger.
I don't know. He quotes here, now, of course, we're a vehicle game. It's a ship game. You need a bigger space to be able to accommodate. We're also a multiplayer first game, so we want players to pirate up and group up with other players. And you need good amount of space for that to make sense for gameplay, which, dude, kind of makes sense, but that is huge. So big. It is so big, Scott.
Is that the largest game map ever? That's what I'm wondering
now.
What is the largest game? Well, okay, I guess you can point to things like Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky, and that No Man's Sky being randomly generated. I suppose it is much bigger than anything else we've ever seen. But
that's fair.
It's just, how big is too big?
I don't know, dude. That might be just the one that's too big. But Scott, we do have one game out today. What do we have? We
have Neon Blight on PC.
That's it. Just the whole one game. Dude, it's a little quiet right now. There's a couple games I know I'm taking note of that are coming down in the pipeline. I know we are out there reaching out for codes. We'll see if we get them. But there's a lot happening.
Always exciting.
Dude, there's so many games about to drop here. Like, just look at the calendar for the 19th. I'm telling you, I cannot wait. But Scott, we're gonna have to wait till another time, because that's gonna be it for ITG Daily. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is the one show that brings you all the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see you all tomorrow inside the game.